reworked his deal to guarantee his $30 million salary in 2026. Last year, 4,500 yards, third most, 41 touchdowns, tied for second. Coach Mangini is here. Coach Mangini, you've been a Bake Show guy once he got rid of his commercials.
Oh my God.
I like him better.
There's one Bake Show guy on this show.
He became the Bake Show guy.
He didn't become the Bake Show guy.
He was giving him tough
begrudgingly
love.
supported him. He's the Kyle Trask guy.
That's true.
I'm the Baker guy.
Trash
coaches, coaches come along begrudgingly. But what's the question?
Chances Bake Show gets to another level.
I think people first have to recognize the level he's been at, which is last year he was statistically one of the very best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, he was not in the MVP discussion ever because the team, was kind of came on at the end of the year.
7.
You're right. The team didn't have the team wasn't blowing people away like Joe Burrows was to get him in the conversation. And he also is a guy who, despite being 2-3 career in the playoffs, has been an awesome postseason quarterback. A 106 rating, 12 touchdowns, 3 picks, 270 yards, passing yards per game, basically. There's been one playoff game ever he didn't play really well in, and that was against the Chiefs in Arrowhead when they were the defending champions. So I say all that to say this, Coach. I think another level is, can they win 12 or 13 games? Can they be legitimate Super Bowl contenders? And my answer to that question is yes. I love the weapons. I think that the defense is a little undermanned, but that is offset a bit by having a defensive-minded head coach. I think that they can potentially deal with the loss of Liam Cohen better than most teams would deal with the loss of their coordinator because Baker's a veteran quarterback and they have the veteran receivers. And so, yeah, I think he could get to another level where he has the best offense in his conference this year. I think that's on the board.
Yeah, here's what I like about Baker. Obviously, the 41 touchdowns, so that's 13 more than his highest, which was the year before when he had the 28 touchdowns. Cleveland would kill to have that kind of production. And then now the interceptions are problematic. He had 16 picks, right, on the year. Not great, not the highest he's had, but still not where you want it to be. Now, I guess if you want to get the 41 touchdowns, you're going to have to.
I was going to say, you take 41 and 16 over 28 and 8?
Look, when you're getting into that close to 20 picks, when you're getting in the 50.
But if it's a
plus,
2.5 to 1 ratio, isn't that fine? 2.5, you know what I mean? Like touchdown interception ratio, whether that's 30 to 12 or.
I'd have to go back and look at that, when those touchdowns came versus when the picks came in terms of the impact of the game. What I also like is his production running the ball. Like him actually as a scrambler is significantly better than it's been. I think it's like 3 or 4 yards better. His his sack percentage is about 6.5%. That's pretty good too. But the thing that's aided him more than Tom Brady late in his Tampa is their ability to run the ball. Right. They were fourth running the ball and they were fourth stopping the run. Remember all the times we talked about Tom in his last year where they couldn't run the ball at all?
Scoring,
I mean, it was terrible. So hopefully they'll stay. If they stay with this, it's a little bit Dak Prescott-esque where a good running game makes Baker 8,000 times more effective than if they're going to just lay it all on him and say, go win the game throwing it.
No, that's fair. I mean, Bucky Irving was great for them. So if he does that again, I agree with that, Coach. And Nick, what you're saying, and you kept it to team goals essentially, or team that taking him to the next level, because he's already now essentially universally viewed, for at least right now. We know it's fluid, but for now, clearly a top 10 quarterback, right?
And it's going to be hard to get in the top
he's
5.
not, so he's tier 2 right now. He's not getting, I don't see him getting in that top 4, that universally recognized top 4, right? I do think at the end of this season, I'm just saying kind of realistic ceiling. I think he could be, at the end of this season, I wouldn't be surprised if we're saying he's 5.
Wow.
And I'm not predicting that.
Wow.
No, I'm not predicting it.
Wow,
I'm just saying, I'm saying that's the next level. Like, I don't think he can jump into the Burrow, Mahomes, Lamar, Allen category.
If they win the Super Bowl, I think.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that's happening.
Yeah.
But I think he could be an MVP candidate if they win enough games, without question. And I think he could play well enough where some are saying he's 5th. And this goes, and I'm not even I wasn't trying to do the fluid thing, but I really think 5 to 12, whatever, is fluid.
This is where Wild's radicalization is coming.
If Jaden comes down,
you're forgetting somebody.
If Jalen, I mean, we'll see how he plays. I'm just saying that's the next level for him.
If Baker wins the Super Bowl, you would consider him the 5th best?
Wait, is Baker universally accepted to be a top 10 quarterback?
It's fluid.
I mean,
I feel like he is at this point.
He's coming in at 10 on a lot of.
I mean, I think it's hard to name 10 ahead of him, Coach, at this point.
You don't think it seems like all the listings I've seen.
It's certainly no longer controversial to put him in at anywhere from 8 to 12 is generally accepted as fine. You know what I mean? I agree. I have him in the top 10.
Universally accepted.
Not universal. It's not universal, but it's.
But
okay, a lot of
it's popular to put him in there. And remember, last year those numbers came with Chris Godwin missing half the season. Now you got Ibuka.
Evans missed part of the year.
Evans missed a few games. So I just think it's. I think it's possible. That's the leap. I don't see him jumping into the top 4.
But if he wins the Super Bowl, you have him as the 5th best quarterback, and he puts up huge numbers.
Well,
I know where you're going.
I'm asking a question.
I'm not saying necessarily I have to watch it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying how it looks.
Like, just for example,
if he does what he did last regular season,
right,
and they win the Super Bowl,
as opposed to if he, Bucky Irving, who's something crazy, like rushes for 2,000 yards and they have number one defense.
right.
Then he might not. Can I just show the Bucs schedule? I'm trying to have your back.
I didn't say
buddy.
anything. I was just wondering, if you go to win a Super Bowl, you go to another Super Bowl, do you get to be a top 10 quarterback?
Here's the other thing I love.
And I'm not saying he's top 5. Just for the record, I'm not saying he's top 5.
And Coach, I know you love when we do
I love a good schedule.
So I think basically through up until the Bills game, there's reason to believe they can get off to a nice start. 6-3, I think is totally realistic. And then that entire right-hand column, they could be on a heater going into the playoffs. Like, there's not a team that they play from week 13 on that I anticipate, you know what I mean, is going to be really good.
That's the truth.
And so, obviously, the Bills-Rams stretch is a tough stretch. But the first half of the year, the Eagles are excellent. The Lions, we think, are excellent. And they play some other teams kind of in their tier, like Niners and Texans. So as long as they don't start off terribly, you know what I mean? I think that they could be a team that's red hot going.
You think the Lions are in their tier?
No, I said the Eagles are excellent, the Lions are excellent.
Oh, the Lions, okay.
And then I was saying the Niners and the Texans are in their tier.
Gotcha.
And so as long as you can just, I don't want to say tread water, but do fine in the first 2/3, that last column is what you want.
Okay. Is Davante Adams? That threw me for a loop.
That was one of the most confusing sound bites ever.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to.
It's not a specific number, and I don't say it on camera. Now on camera, let me tell you. Go ahead, Kate.
Your reaction to Davante going for 2,000. It wouldn't be crazy, he said.
It would be crazy. Okay. And Davante is a great receiver, and obviously was phenomenal a few years ago, but no, there's no way he can get 2,000 yards this season. And it's not just his quarterback's 37 and injured, and I think could be banged up for many games. He himself is 32. It's never been done by anyone.
That's the important part.
I don't even know if he's the number one receiver.
That seems to matter.
Right? I mean, so at the very least, like, Puka's going to get a ton of catches. And even Tutu Atwell, the number 3 receiver, is pretty good.
Are we sure we didn't misinterpret it? Like, is he saying, like,
no, he said
it's so
he just said it's possible.
Out of left field. I'm like, does he mean like him and Puka have 1,000 yards?
I'll say I watched the whole thing. He was saying like we have enough. He was putting it in the context of that won't be necessary. Obviously, he didn't say this, but he's got other great receivers and stuff. But him just saying he could. If he was the only receiver on the team.
Had 2,165 yards combined over the last 3 seasons. That's his number over the last 3 seasons. And I'm wondering, is his goal higher than 2,000? Like, that's the goal he was willing to put out there. Like, what's the goal he's not willing to put out there? That's what I want to know, because that goal's got to be
2
unbelievable.
seasons, right, Coach?
What's that?
We have 1,500,
The
1,100.
last 2 seasons.
No, you're looking at it the wrong way, buddy. I think.
What am I looking at?
You're looking at it
Last
bottom
3
up. This is
seasons,
why it's
yards,
important for you.
Last 3 seasons.
Yeah, the last 3 seasons.
This is 1 season, Jets and Raiders.
Oh, okay. So
That's why I think, because he's had, so he has. I think a little bit
okay,
short.
yeah, you have it right.
Because it's look, because
Were my stats all?
no, because I think
no,
the Jets and Raiders read as 2 separate seasons, but they're combined. So he actually had.
But still, but
last
the
2 seasons.
moral of the story is, like, this is, I think the real question is, his 2,000 yards independent of it, is Davante Adams still, if he is still an elite receiver, then the Rams should be in the conversation with Philly and Cincinnati as the best receiving corps in football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
be.
Because Puka is
that,
when healthy, is exceptional. He has draft position bias and size bias working against him, which is sometimes fair, particularly if it's a quarterback. But
I was
not
about
so
to
often
say,
with a-
sounds familiar.
But if Davante can still just be what, to your point, Wilds, correctly, he was with the Raiders for a full season, 1,100 yards, then they're in great shape.
2022, he had 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns.
With Jimmy G, that's like 4,000 yards.
Yeah, if you put the Jimmy G curve on it.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.